guys, it's Amy. I am here with a tag video that I wanted to do. I'm going to be looking down at my iPad. So if you see me looking down, I am just looking at the questions. So anyways, so this tag is called My First Time Tag, which it's like everything for like your firsts and stuff. I figured I would do one because just so you guys can get to know me better and stuff, because I know I have a lot of new YouTube subscribers. First tweet, I can't remember. I'm sure it was a long time ago. I can look on here, but I don't even know when my first tweet was. Probably years ago. I wish it told you, but it doesn't. $757 tweets. I have no clue when my first tweet was. Sorry, guys. All right, let me go back to my first YouTube video. I think was in 2009. That's when I really started YouTube. I mean, I had a channel. That's when I made a channel, was in 2009. I didn't really get into YouTube too much for like a couple years after that. Just, I don't know. I just pretty much signed up just so I can watch YouTube, but I never really got into like doing videos and stuff until recently, like a couple years ago. First person you subscribed to on YouTube. I have no idea. I can't even remember, to be honest with you. It's been so long. How do people like, how do they know these things? You have to look them up or what? I don't even know. First Facebook profile pic. I can't even tell you. I don't even know when I signed up for Facebook. Oh, yeah. Next one is, do you still talk to your first love? No, I don't. That was when I was 15 years old. I don't talk to him. He's a loser. I'd rather not talk to him, to be quite honest with you. I have some friends of mine that are friends with him, and sometimes they'll talk about him and stuff, but I don't care to talk to him. He's just a loser. What was your first alcoholic drink? I don't know. Probably like wine, I think. I don't even know. Because I was a little sneaky little booger when I was younger and would sneak behind my parents' back and drink while I was underage. So I can't even tell you. I think I had like my first alcoholic drink. It says, what was your first? But when was my first? Probably like when I was like 16 or 17. Like that's when I like had like a first drink. I wasn't exactly a good child when I was younger. What was your first job? My first job was Papa Gino's. I was 15 years old and it was so weird. And that's where I met like one of my boyfriends that I dated for a long time. Actually, quite a bit. My parents loved him and I don't know, it just didn't work out, but he was a nice guy. And whoever he has for a girlfriend now, she's a lucky girl because he was one of the nicer guys that I dated, besides my husband now. But my first job was Papa Gino's at 15 years old. My first car, oh god. My first car was an Oldsmobile Delta 88. That was a boat. And I remember I actually felt safe in it. My parents, I used to drive my boyfriend's car at the time. He had a Nissan Maxima and I used to drive his car a lot before I got my first car. But yeah, it was an Oldsmobile Delta 88 and it was a boat, like a huge car. But my dad got it for me for free, this guy at work. I worked 2 jobs and I paid for everything to get fixed on that car and I actually felt safe in it. So, and this was like at 19 and I ended up getting pregnant with my first daughter really at young age, so I needed the car. I would have taken anything. I needed it to go back and forth to my works because I babysat and I worked at a grocery store, third shift, and I had to go to my doctor's appointments. So I needed anything to get me from point A to point. Who was the first person to text you today? That would probably be probably my daughter. She was the last one to text me. First person. Who was the first person you thought of this morning? My husband, because yesterday I did not have a good day at all. It was a bad day for me. So I woke up early this morning and I was gonna text him and tell him that I loved him and stuff. So he was on his way home anyway, so I didn't even bother because I'm funny like that. I don't want him like texting and driving and stuff. He wouldn't, but I know like he would hear his phone, he'd like look down, so he makes me nervous. Who was the first person? Oh no, who was your first grade teacher? I can't even answer that. I don't remember. I don't remember any of my teachers except for one teacher in high school, and the only reason why I remember her name is because her name was Mrs. Kilbasa. That was her name. It was so weird. So that's the only teacher that I remember from school, and she was one of my high school teachers. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? Well, I don't really fly that much, so my first ride on an airplane was to Ohio. I went to a 3-day rock festival with my husband and our 2 friends, and it's called Rock on the Range, and it was awesome. I had like the best time, but that was my only time on a plane. Who knows when I'm ever gonna get on a plane again, but I'm very claustrophobic, so being on a plane, and it was a small plane, it was Delta, but it was small. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend, we don't really talk hardly at all. She's on my Facebook. You know, we like each other's pictures or whatever, but her name was Jessica. She was my friend ever since I was little, and we just don't talk anymore. Like, we were best friends for a long time, but I have another best friend who I've known since junior high school who will always be my friend, and yeah, I'm just glad that me and her are friends, and her name is Janet. Where was your first sleepover? Probably at Jessica's house. The best friend I told you about. What was the first thing you did this morning? I grabbed my phone and looked at social media. That's what I do. I roll over and I look at my phone. Because I have to wake up first before I can actually get out of bed. What was the first concert you ever went to? My first concert that I ever went to actually was Kiss. When I was 15 years old, my aunt and uncle took me. I'm a huge Kiss fan. I've liked Kiss since I was 2 years old. Since my Uncle Paul put those headphones on me, I've been a fan ever since. And he is no longer with us anymore, and I'll always remember my first concert that he took me to. It was the Hot in the Shade tour, and I still, to this day, have my t-shirt from that concert. It's all ripped, but I have it in like a Ziploc bag because I don't want it to get any more ruined than it already is. So I will never forget my first concert that I went to. I mean, I saw Samantha Fox at like an amusement park, if you can consider that a concert. But that was it. I finally got to see Tiffany. I'm a huge fan of hers, and I finally got to see her a few months ago with my sister. First broken bone. I only broke one bone, and it was this bone right here I broke when I was younger. I would say maybe like 14, playing soccer. Go figure, huh? I played soccer in high school and stuff, and we were with all the neighborhood kids. We were all outside, and I broke this bone because somebody like pushed me into the fence, and I bent it all the way back, and it broke. First piercing, just my ears. I don't know when I got my ears pierced, but that was my first piercing. First foreign country you've gone to? None. First movie you remember seeing? I don't remember. When was your first detention? Oh, good Lord. I had quite a bit of those. I would say in junior high school, I got my first detention, and then it continued on all through high school. I remember running home to get those papers before they sent them in the mail to my mother, because that's how they did it back. They didn't really call back then. I mean, back then, I'm 38 years old, but when we were in high school, they didn't really call like what they do now. I mean, my kids don't get detention or anything, but it was so weird. I would run home and hurry up, because I was with my boyfriends and stuff. So yeah, we won't go there. Who was your first roommate? I didn't really have a roommate. I lived with my boyfriends. Like, I lived with my older daughter's father for a while, and then I moved back home. I lived with my parents, lived with my older daughter's dad, moved out, and then I was home for a while because I was pregnant with her, and then I moved out with her at 6 months old with my husband, who I'm with now. We've been together 18 years. If you had one wish, what would it be? If I had one wish, I would wish for peace, like happier ways of living. Like, just everybody is so full of hatred these days and negativity, and always in a rush to go somewhere and do something. And I just wish that everything was just rainbows and butterflies half the time, because I don't just, if somebody else is miserable, it just ruins your whole day. So yeah, that's my wish. What was the first sport you were involved in? What was the first sport you were involved in? I tried out for cheerleading for like a minute, which didn't work. I was a flyer. They threw me up. You got somebody's elbow in her face, and gave her a fat lip. I didn't realize I needed to tuck my arms in. So cheerleading was not for me. So all 4 years of high school, I did soccer. What was the first thing you do when you get home? Well, I don't really leave that much because I babysit during the day and I gotta cook supper. So it's very rare that I actually can leave the house sometimes, but I didn't go anywhere today. Or actually, we took the dogs for a walk. So when we came home, I got ready and made supper. When was your first kiss? My first kiss was like when I was like 13 at a school dance. I'll never forget it. My dad was in the parking lot. Oh gosh. My dad was in the parking lot and saw me kiss a boy. It was nothing, but that was my first kiss. So that is my first time tag. You could see all the questions right there that I wanted to share with you guys. They're really fun to do. So if you get a chance, I tag all up to give it a try. And it's just fun. I love watching tag videos because it lets you get to know the person a little bit more than just always, doing different other kinds of videos. So anyways, I will talk to you all soon and have a great day. If you like this video, thumbs it up. Talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.